Welcome everyone to Live from NCCE. And today we are so blessed and lucky to have with us Diane Marsh. Diane is going into her 19th year of teaching in Conroe at Conroe High School. In what city in Texas, Diane?
That's just outside of Houston, Texas, and Conroe, Texas.
Nice.
Conroe is one of the largest school districts in the state of Texas.
Oh, I'll be darned. Well, Diane brings a wealth of information and a wealth of knowledge. She is ISTE certified. She is Microsoft certified. She is Google certified, certifiable. She is, you were the NCCE 2020 Technology Teacher of the Year. You've served on the NCCE board. You're amazing. And today, Diane is going to share with us how to push AI to students using Magic School. Shout out to our friends at Magic School who've been promoting this on social media. So Diane, show us what Magic School can do for educators.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us. And I'm so excited to present this great tool that I've started using in my classroom. We're going to explore all the Magic School AI tools and things that you can push out to your students and have them use them while you monitor it. I know everybody has probably already had the new talk with students about AI in the classroom, but there are some ground rules you need to set up before you ever introduce AI to the students. Setting up the ground rules should make sure that students are using it ethically and appropriately all the time that they're using it. If you are using it as a teacher, be transparent and tell your students, hey, I'm using AI. You can use AI, but we're going to use it ethically and appropriately. It teaches responsibility and digital citizenship. AI is here. Let's use it wisely. And let's make sure that it's promoting fairness, integrity, and talk about that bias, that built-in bias, and have those conversations with your students. Some suggested ground rules before we get started, and as you're talking to your students, AI is for support, not for submitting answers. You should always cite AI when AI is helpful, not when you use it. I mean, if students use it, I've had so many assignments turned in that are 100% AI. And yes, you know right away, if you have that relationship with your students, you know if they use AI. Call them on it. Let's talk about it. Don't get mad at them for using AI. Teach them, use this as a teachable moment. Make sure students are following teachers' instructions when and how to use it. And remind students that AI is not always right. It always doesn't give us the answers we're searching for. It gives us suggestions. It gives us the easiest answer. So if you need something deeper, you need to dig a little deeper and have those conversations with your students. AI. Imagine giving your students a safe, appropriate AI tool to brainstorm, study, and write with all of your guidance while you monitor their use. That's what Magic School is. Magic School is an AI tool that's designed for schools, specifically for schools. It's safe, it's appropriate, it meets all of the COPPA, FERPA compliance that there are. It supports both teachers and students. As teachers, I'm pretty sure all of us have used AI in the school that I'm in. We're 61% Latino population. I speak zero Spanish. I have parents who speak zero English. However, through Magic School, we can communicate. There are so many tools within Magic School. And once you get logged in, whether you're a student or an educator, and start exploring all of the tools there are in Magic School, it's going to be a game changer, especially when you start pushing out those tools to students, letting the students use those tools, having them use Chat GPT-like program, having them use a text to image, customizing your chat bots, creating study guides. There's so many things that Magic School can do. Tonight, we're going to focus on just one of the many, many things that Magic School can do. We're going to log in as a teacher, if you haven't already, if you're playing on your second screen on this, or if you're just watching, I'll go through all the steps on how to log in as a teacher. It's free to all teachers. Use your school account, your school email address. It will verify it, and then you have a free Magic School account. Once you get to Magic School, it shows you this big setup. So I'm going to change my screen real quick and go over to my Magic School setup. All right, Magic School, here I am logged in as my school account, Lori Marsh. The school district makes me use my first name. However, I go by Diane, but it makes me log in as Lori Marsh. And here's all the many, many, many tools. You can set your favorite tools, as you can see right here. These are all text translator. That's the one I use the most, but there's so many, many, many. We're not going to
Hey, Diane, we can't see your screen right now. We only see your presentation. You may have just shared your presentation screen. So you might want to reshare so we can see.
I certainly will, because I think it's going to be important that teachers see where I'm going with it.
Oh, we'd love to see it. Yeah, sorry to break in, but we wanted to make sure they got the full experience.
I will redo that. And now you see us, and I'm sorry for the interruption here.
No, it's perfect.
Don't you love technology? Yeah,
exactly. And teachers need to see that sometimes technology goes wrong, and it's okay. It's not a big deal, right? You just roll with it. And you said Magic School's a free account, right? If you use your educator email.
Yes, it is.
Which is super nice. Teacher's favorite F word, free.
Yes.
We like free.
Okay. So I may need some help. Screen sharing, share.
Yeah, so go to present, right? Go to share screen, and then
right.
Yep, now we see it. That's perfect, Diane.
Thank you, and all of you guys, thanks for your patience. But we all know we've been there in the classroom, standing in front of kids going, wait, wrong screen, let me fix this. But these are all the many, many tools that I was talking about. And it's just going to be on my other screen over there. Let me do one more thing. Can you see my presentation now?
Not yet. You'll probably have to unshare and reshare again.
Okay, I can do that. I'm pretty quick on my feet. All righty.
I know you are.
So when you first log in and you have your account set up, actually I did all that on purpose so you can have time to make sure you're logged in and you have your account set up. So to get to the point where we're going to actually start working with students using Magic School, over here on the left-hand side, looking at student tools, check out Magic Student. Click right there. And this is where you start creating your classrooms. You have your classrooms. As you can see, I have several already created. I have a student classroom that I created today that I'm going to use as a template for what all I show you. And then I have social media marketing, spring and fall. That was one of the classes that I teach. I also have, here's all my other rooms that I have. I have advertising, retail management, my advertisement second class. So as you can see, I have several classes already created, and you can create as many as you want to. Again, this is a free tool. I'm going back to my dashboard now, and I'm going to create a new room. And the best part about this is where you get to start customizing what you want. So let's put student room, today's date or presentation or whatever. I'm going to change this to presentation classroom. And I'm going to change this to 11th grade. Our high school consists of 10 through 12. And I always max out students for 250. There's a good reason for that. The reason is because when students log out, sometimes they won't log back in correctly. They'll just use your log on link and they'll create a new account for themselves. So you may have 3 Annas. You may have 6, Dianes or whatever, but they're all the same student. When you get your students to log in, we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. When students log in, make sure they only use their first name. Even though I tell my students only use your first name, they still end up using their whole names. So set your room up, name it, whatever you're going to name it, grade level, max students, click on next. And this is where you start adding your chat boxes. You add your tools. If you wanted to add a study bot tool, just right here, you can do that. If you are a math teacher and you want to add a math review, you can. I'm going to go ahead and add image generator because that is a lot of what I do. We do personal branding. We do social media posts. They have to create their own images for social media. So we do a lot of that in my classroom using AI. I'm also going to go down here and use custom chat box. This is something that I can customize, that I can tell the chat box what to answer. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. You can also use just a standardized one. GPT is called Raina for students. It's just a chat box. They've just named her Raina. So you can add that. But as you can see, there's so many that students can use. Quiz me on topics. Again, if you have that Quiz Me in there and you've set up this classroom and they know exactly what you're going to use and what they're going to be quizzed on, this is just a fun way to get them engaged and to improve their study habits. For this presentation, I'm only going to add these two. Hit next. Now you're going to see that Adobe Image Generator is not customizable. That's fine. It's an Adobe product. Your school, if your school has an Adobe product, if it has whether it's access to DALL-E 3, whatever your image to text to image generator is, that's fine. You can use that. Our school does have Adobe available for all the kids, but I'm going to build my own customizable chat box. I'm going to click right here and I'm going to customize it. The name of it, I'm going to just name it, what did I name it? Presentation example. And my description, create a chat box from scratch with what kind of voice. You do have that read aloud, which is great for those students who need that. What level? But this is the important one right here. Instructions for the chat box. You get to tell the chat box how to answer these questions. So for this one, I am going to go back. I'm going to put it advertising, and I am having create so I'm telling it can only fit that it can only answer questions and students can only ask questions that fit the Texas Essentials Skills Standards. Expand on this. I'm just doing it really quickly for time's sake, but you want to expand on this, be very specific on what you tell. The better the input, the better the output. So I'm going to go ahead and attach right here and upload a PDF of my advertising content special unit, my TEKS standards. That's Texas Essentials Knowledge Standards. I'm going to go ahead and attach that PDF, and the error is unimportant. So I've told it exactly what I want to put in here. And I can add additional knowledge. We've already covered this unit. We've already covered personal branding. So you can tell the chat box whatever you want it to stay on. Another thing they can, so this is what the student sees. You notice it doesn't see the instructions that you gave the chat box. It only says advertising, build a chat box from scratch from any customer. Okay, well, I'm gonna hit next. And again, this is my chat box for my students that they will see. Where I'm gonna show you some examples here. All right, so I've done that. I've customized my tools, and now I'm going to launch my room. Once you launch your room, give it a minute here. You can do any way you want to when you get ready to share this out with students. I get a join URL because we have an SSO, a single sign-on login tool. So I put it into my Canvas classroom, and that's the way they log in. You can add it to Google Classroom. Prior to moving here, we only use Google Classroom. This would be ideal to add to Google Classroom, and they would only be able to use the AI tools I gave them through this link. Or you can put in a join code for this classroom. Again, I used this, and then this is what it looks like. Right now, I don't have any students, but you can add students yourself. Students can log on or whatever. I'm going to go back to my classroom and open up one of these. I wanted to open up this one if I can find it. So I had my students use AI to write a script for a cereal commercial that they created. Again, I'm a marketing teacher. They created the cereal brand. They had to create the box. They had to create the social media prompt. They had to create a commercial. They had to do it all. They had to do a cost analysis and all of that. So when we got to the point of where they're, students will put their last names. Most of them will put their first names, but some students will put their last names. When they get to the point and they're generating their 15-second commercial, you want to click right here to moderate. This is how you see what students are putting in. This is how you see if students are using it incorrectly. And that's our biggest fear, is students are using it incorrectly, and that's not what we want to happen. We want to be able to monitor their use. So if you tell them up front, hey, we're using AI in this classroom, and you push this out, they're less likely to go around the back door because they're going to use what you give them. So this is a student of mine, and this is the instruction. Grade level 10, okay. So she write a script for a 1-minute commercial promoting Trano's cereal brand. My target market is towards kids. My cereal is using Thomas and Friends as a character and blueberry flavored cereal. Write the script in scenes. So here you'll see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4 scenes, in tag, 5 seconds, and a few sound effects. Well, once they got that, they were supposed to do something else. Don't turn in the first thing you get. Expand on each scene to include setting, props, and characters. Include Thomas from Thomas and Friends character in the commercial. Again, it just expanded each scene. Then finally, add dialogue to each. She, the student, added dialogue, asked the custom chat box to add dialogue to each scene. And this is what she got. And that's what she turned in. Now I know that, and this is a 10th grader, I know that she used AI. It wasn't about getting the scene. It was about writing the prompts. She could have done a lot better. Believe me, I had some students do a lot worse. So there's that balance where take this as a great opportunity. What's missing from this scene? Oh, dialogue. Okay, tell it to add dialogue. So they got to explore the good and the bad of their commercial and add to it, as opposed to just writing a commercial from scratch. Are we losing some of the writing skills? Yes, but I'm not teaching a writing class. I'm teaching a marketing class, and these tools are going to be used in the real world. So they kind of need to be used in the school. So this is a great way to monitor. And I had this open, and students would walk up to my desk, and I would click on their chat box, and I'll say, but what else do you need in here? And we would go through it together. And it was laboring. I have an hour and a half long block and didn't get through all the students and worked on them some more the next class period. But it was great talking to the students and understanding what they were thinking about what their end result should look like. Again, a great learning moment. So this is what what you will see for your students. Let's see. The next thing is you can always go up here and preview as a student, and you can look at it and see what you get. This is what the students look. Again, they got to acknowledge all that. They're not going to read it. I didn't. We don't. And this is all they see. They get to pick one or another. So they had to click on the image generator and click an image of the main, or create an image of the main character for their cereal box. or they had to create an image for their social media account or social media post. So we use Image Generator quite a bit in my class. When you get to this, let's see if I'm in the right classroom. I'm going to go back to this classroom. You have these great tools, and this is the last thing I want to add a little bit for the room insights. Amazing data. How many of you guys have had admin go, well, we need some more data from your class? What's the data on that program? How can you prove to me that students are engaged? This is it right here. You'll have to exit out that and leave the blank for the whole thing. But I had 30 students in the room, 18 with generations, 45 generations altogether. So at least all of my students generated, some of them more than once. One tool used, because for this particular class, they only got the chat box. 4 days in room activity. So it did take 4 days to go through the whole process with all the students. And then you have all of this data that you can share, and you can share with specific kids. You can go, wait a minute, you spent 3 minutes on it. That's not enough. You have all these summaries available on students using it. Just looking at the same one, it'll give you a quick summary of what that particular student did. So great data, especially when your admin comes and asks you for data on how are you using AI in the classroom? Can you give me any data that shows students are engaged? It's right here. It's on your screen. So you can definitely show that to them as well. There is this one, I hope I find the right one, where I had a student intentionally, he was kind of like my test students. I'm like, ask the chat box to finish your history paper on Henry Ford's political beliefs. So he typed it in, and the chat box said, I can only answer questions about social media marketing. So again, you get to limit and you get to control what your students ask the chat box. You get to control how much knowledge they have prior coming in to asking those questions and creating those prompts, and you get to monitor it. So it's just such a great tool. I want to go ahead and change my screen again. So I'm going to jump back over to my presentation. And these are just screenshots of exactly what I showed you before, custom chat box, image generator. This is how you customize your chat box. When a student wants to log in, of course, you have the join the URL, the Google Classroom, the join codes. All they have to do is go to magicschool.ai, click on I'm a student, and then this is how I push it out to my students. I give them that link, and they click that link, and it goes directly into my classroom. Again, we went over the teacher view, how you have the teacher data, which is, again, one of my favorite tools. And that's it's in beta right now. It's very new, I would say within the last month or so, but it's turning into be great because I get so much feedback from admins saying, how do you know this is working? Well, first of all, you can come into my classroom and phones are put away. That's a good sign right there. But now I have the data to back that up. With Magic School, I love Magic School. They have such a great privacy policy. That QR code will take you right to this page. They have an amazing rating through Common Sense Media, which I love. It's verified at 93% privacy rating. It's safe for kids. Like I said before, FERPA and COPA compliance. It is a great tool to use in your classroom, and I 100% recommend it. So if we have any questions, I'll be glad to take a few moments and chat and answer questions. And please, I'll be glad just post anything on this feed, and I will be glad to answer it as well. So,
Oh my gosh, Diane, what a powerful tool. But you got us really excited because we saw the word moderate and people were like, moderate? Is that like the old Flipgrid? Remember Flip? And it had
yes,
moderation. And they were like, oh, does that mean the other students can see the other students' work? So twofold question. Can the other students see each other's work? And does moderate work kind of like it did in Flipgrid or Flip?
no, the students can't see the other students' work, but it's a great opportunity to share, especially if a student who, hey, I'm working with AI, I'm really excited about it. And if they want to share in class, pop it up on your screen, go through it, have them talk about their thought process to the class instead of just you. And those, I hate this class, I hate this teacher, students that are sitting in the back of the room doing nothing, they start paying attention. Because they see another student excited about a tool, they get excited about the tool. Anything AI is such a great hook right now. We're in this wonderful place to be with our kids, with our students, to have them interested, have those sleepyheads wake up, and have those I hate school people interested in learning and in that engagement. And this is such a great tool to use and have kids engaged in what they're doing.
Nice. So the moderation is just for you to be able to look at it and see.
Yes.
Okay. Though people get so excited because we all miss Flip so much. So in your chat bot, the other question was, can you add, like if the student asks a specific question, can you put a specific answer, like an Easter egg kind of thing?
Yes, you certainly can. You'll have to put that in specifically into your instructions. Okay. I'm going to weirdly share my screen back again. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Shown you.
Like to reward them if they ask the right question. You know what I'm saying? Because that's you were saying earlier. It's so important for them, especially in prompting in AI, to ask the right question. So, like if they actually ask the right question, bing, bing, bing.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to one of my schools here
cool.
And click here. Sugar, go into moderate. And these classes are over. Of course. Let me see if I can find one that's a little newer. It will flag it for me. It will tell me, like you can see right here, which tools the kids used in these programs. Yeah. And then, and unfortunately, because this is a newer one, let's see if I got anything here. No, wrong class. But for any of the students that ask inappropriate questions, it will flag it. And see, here's a flag right here. So it will flag it and tell you, highly engaged AI thread. You can create a summary and it will tell you what that flag is. But it will give you some of those flags for
that's nice.
Include for whatever student, whatever they do. The other classes before it was able to do that was a lot, gave me a lot more information. Oops, there. But let's go here. It will probably also come up over here. You can look at, tools, students. You can search by thread, engagement, all of that. Like which kids had high engagement. Yeah. And it's going to tell me which students had high engagement. So there's a lot of ways that you can look at the back end of a student. But when you're creating your customizable bot, you can say, if a student asks a question about this topic, answer them by going, great question. Here's your answer. So you can tell your chatbots to do that.
Oh, that is so cool. And by the way, thank you for showing us insights. Being a Microsoft Innovative Educator expert and teaching on Teams for 4 years online, I love the insights that they had in Teams because we could really see how kids were engaged. This is super exciting to see it here in Magic Student.
Well, the data tracking is, like I said, very new. It's a lot that I need to jump into over the summer before I push this out in the fall. But I'm glad I have the time this summer to do it. And this is a great tool. I'm very lucky that our school district has approved it, especially because it has such a strong privacy policy. So if you're arguing that, that's where you need to start.
That's perfect. Well, Diane, thank you for the great share. As always, folks out there, carefully evaluate and select your digital tools that align to your local privacy policies, educational standards, community expectations, just like Diane says. But this one looks pretty amazing. And as we say, teachers, it is totally free. Diane, thank you for sharing the wealth and the vast knowledge you have in this subject. We appreciate it. I was looking at this going, I know you teach high school, right?
Yes.
And I'm thinking as a 5th grade teacher, we do propaganda. And I was thinking, oh, make their own commercials. I'm going to steal that. So I know you won't mind. We steal.
Yeah.
So
I can think of so many fun things for the middle school and the elementary kids too. It's such a great tool.
So thank you so much. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We're going to take a 2-month break so you can enjoy your summer, but don't forget, you can go to ncce.link/live anytime, because 4 years of live from NCCE are there. And on top of that, there's accessibility adventure and all kinds of other live events. So if you want the best free ed tech PD, go to NCCE at ncce.link/live. And don't forget, the convention's coming up in February of 2026. You can get your early registration now. Get those proposals in now. You can find that at ncce.org/conference. Have a wonderful summer. Diane, thank you. And everyone, put on your sunscreen. It's hot out there.
See you at the conference. Bye.
See you at the conference or back here in September.
Yes.